Hey everyone, Brenda Flanders with the Utah Sport Karate League here with another competitor highlight. Today I have with me Caige Wood. How are you doing, sir?
Good.
Doing good. Thank you so much for joining us for this interview. I've been dying to get a minute with you and talk to you a little bit about yourself and give the sport karate world a little insight on you. So, if you guys have not had a chance to see Caige compete, let me tell you, when I say it's an understatement, when I say you are missing out. Next time you guys are at a tournament and you see Caige, make sure that you check out his divisions. Not only is he a phenomenal competitor, he's powerful and strong with his techniques. His precision is on point. Outstanding execution on his techniques and his katas. And then if you've had a chance to talk to him, you'll know when I say that this kid is kind and he is super respectful. So just to me, just an all-around competitor. I'm just super excited to have you on today, Caige. How you
Yeah.
doing?
I'm doing good.
Feeling
Last
great?
tournament went pretty well with the grand champion.
Nice. That's great. So tell us, how old are you?
I am 13.
13. Great. And how long have you been training?
I've been doing karate for almost 9 years now, since I was 4 at least. I've always wanted to get my black belt, and well, next September will make that come true.
Oh,
So I'm
that's awesome.
working on that.
That's awesome. So you're training with evolutionary martial arts, correct?
Yes.
So cool. And sounds like you've got your next goal in place. Testing for your black belt. You said next September.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's exciting. I've heard about those evolutionary black belt tests, and I've actually gone in and showed my support to one of your previous instructors, Sensei Michelle Sims. So you got your work cut out for you. Make sure that you're training hard. I'm sure it's not going to be any problem for you. You're outstanding with your martial arts.
Yeah.
So cool. So, how long have you been competing? You talked about training. You've been training for
I
9 years, and
I've been
that's a lot of
competing
dedication.
I've been competing for around 4, maybe 5 years, I think. And
Wow,
my first tournament was your guys's. It was Valor local.
super cool. So 4 years, and you have already started dominating your age group. You're in the 12 to 13 advanced. You compete in multiple divisions. Can you tell us about some of those divisions that you compete in?
Some of the divisions are pretty small, like 7 to 8 people, but like in NASCA, there'll be like 12 to 20 in each one, but it depends on what tournament you go to.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. So which divisions are those that you're competing in? You're doing the traditional weapons and traditional
I'm doing traditional weapons, traditional forms, creative hand, creative weapons, and I dropped fighting because I wanted to focus on katas.
okay. Yeah, it's good to dial in that focus on those events in those divisions that you want to excel in. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So going back to some of these divisions, looking at the rankings, looks like you're ranked first place in traditional kata, creative musical forms, as well as traditional weapons forms, and then musical weapons forms. It looks like right now you're currently placed second,
Yeah.
which I have confidence in you that over these next couple tournaments that you'll be able to bump that place up to first. You're
Yeah.
just dominating in all of those divisions, and it's been awesome to see the amount of intensity that you have and the form that you have behind your technique. You're definitely one of those competitors to keep an eye on, right? You're one of those guys that inspires people to want to train harder and raise the level for themselves. So I really appreciate that about a strong competitor. It's awesome.
Yeah, but Jaren and Harlow are coming for first place though. If they have if they get more technical things, then they could beat me in
Yeah,
all divisions.
there's definitely always that element involved with competition. So hopefully you're putting the work in to try to stay there on top. That's awesome. So with creative, you've been known to do some pretty awesome high level techniques. I know in last couple tournaments we watched you bust out a full. Is there with your creative forms? Is there a new technique or a more advanced technique that you've been currently working on? Something that we
Um,
can look forward to seeing here in the future?
so once I get it better, I have so it like in the middle of my kata after my kick combo, like when I'm going to the corner, it's a spin hook B twist.
Oh, cool.
Once I get that better, that's like right before my full.
Oh, nice. That'll be a sweet combo. I can't wait to see that. That's exciting. That's super cool. That takes a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work to get those big tricks down. So I cannot wait to see you throw one of those at the tournaments.
Yeah.
So who would you say has been your toughest competitor? I know you've mentioned Harlow and Jaron. Who would you say is your toughest competitor? Somebody that keeps that fire lit underneath you?
Yeah, my toughest competitor, I'd have to say, is Harlow and Jaron. But when I go to Vegas, it depends on if he's there or not. But Diego, he's really good.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's good to have those competitors that are nipping at our heels. It kind of gives us a little bit more motivation. So how do you think you set yourself apart from your competition? What do you do? What is it about Caige that sets yourself apart from your other competitors?
It's just like everything that's so technical. Like it, gotta have like a technical combo. Like it depends on like karate. It can't just be flips. You gotta match your karate with the flips. Like someone with a full like me could lose to someone with really good hand strikes because they just have really good karate and no flips, and I just have flips. But if I can probably bring my karate up to where my flips are, then I could get myself a lot better.
Oh man, you're well on your way. Your martial arts skills are really on point. But I'm glad you mentioned that a form is not much without that combination of both, right? You've got to have strong skills, strong technical skills, and it's always that added bonus when you've got those more advanced tricking and kick techniques. That's awesome.
And adding on to that, like elevation to like the thing where I go like right punch, left punch, down to my knee, spin, and then up again, and then I'm going this way and then that way. Like it has to have multiple directions. It can't just be chop punch, step forward punch.
Right?
It has
Yep.
to be like the technical, cool, like martial arts, I
I
guess.
agree. I agree. I totally agree with that. So tell me, what does training look like for you? How many days are you in the studio? How long are you there for? What does training look like for you?
So before COVID, it was every day. Monday was normal class, Tuesday was fight class, like competition fight class. Wednesday was normal class, Thursday was another fight class, and then Friday it was 2:15 or no, 3:15 to 5. So like 2 hours. It was flips and tricks and then competition class. So it's 45 minutes for every class. And then
Awesome.
it used to be every day. But now it's Monday, Wednesday for normal class, and then Friday, like 2 hours.
Cool. It sounds like you're hitting all those classes, huh?
And then Friday, I go to open gym sometimes to train like my flips and stuff and just to learn new things.
That's cool. That's awesome. Takes a lot of hard work and dedication, and it sounds like you've got it. So how do you prepare for a tournament? How do you get physically and mentally prepared to go out there and compete?
So usually a week before the tournament, we have our last competition class before the tournament. And then the day of, we practice all of our katas. And then me, Gabe, and sometimes Harlow warm up our flips to do everything. And Wyoming is probably the toughest to warm up my flips because it's like the wood floors, and like if you're used to all the wood floors, then everything else feels easy.
Right, right. I agree. That can be a tough one, but that Western Wyoming is a lot of fun to compete at, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. It's great that you got some good mentors and some good training partners to help you get prepared. So if you were, could you tell us one of the goals you have for competition? Something that you've got in your sights?
One of the goals I probably have is either the world title at Vegas or to get onto ESPN Live in the NASCAR tournaments.
Nice. I love it. Love those goals. That's awesome. You're well on your way, man. You're a super talented young man, so I can see it now for you. Big things in your future.
Yeah.
So what are what would you say if you could talk to the other competitors out there? What would be something that you would tell them, a word of advice or something to inspire them?
A word of advice would probably be like, even if like you can't get a trick down or something, like say you're really bad at this kick and you want to get it better, don't do it. I'd rather someone do a good kick once than a bad kick 300 times because it's not going to make you anything but stay at the same spot. It's going to make you neutral. So like look on YouTube, look on the internet, see if anyone can help you with whatever you're trying to do to get you better and elevate what you're trying to do.
That's awesome. That is some great advice. You guys heard it here first. Take it and run with it. That is some outstanding advice. Um, so what would you say inspires you to continue working hard and continue going out there and competing?
Um, to watch people better than me, like for example, Cameron with the bow staff, like I want to get that good with commas and like some of the people that I see that are better at tricking at me, like Gabe, for example, I want to be like at their level. That's
That's
like what inspires me to keep going is, oh, I'm this good, but I can be that good also.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Um, so let's get into some of your favorites. So what would you say is your favorite kick or your favorite technique right now?
Favorite kick is probably the cheat 900. It's in my kata. It's like at the start. It's after the chop punch, and then you do the thing where you go down, and then the double out knife hands, and then that first kick is like
Awesome.
my favorite. And then my favorite kick combo is cheat nine, spin hook, autobahn would be my favorite.
Awesome. Those autobahns are a lot of fun to do. What would you say is your favorite weapon?
My favorite weapon is the weapon I do, obviously, which is commas. They're just like so fun to like learn new things with, like even just to put in my kata.
I agree. That's my favorite weapon too. What's your favorite form to compete with? I know you do a lot of traditional forms. Which is your favorite traditional form to compete with?
Well, my favorite traditional form is my hand kata, my traditional hand kankudai, because of like the two moves at the end is just really fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What would you say is your favorite division to compete in?
Favorite division is also creative, like creative weapons, just anything creative because I love seeing what my competition is. Just yeah.
Yeah, those creative divisions give you the ability to kind of really express your skills and the limit of your skills. That's awesome. What would you say has been your favorite tournament to go to of all time since you
Um,
started competing?
my favorite tournament would probably have to be Minnesota because all the fun things there is to do after, all the restaurants, just everything there is fun to do. I like all the NASCAR tournaments.
That's awesome. So which tournament in Minnesota are you speaking of?
I think it was the
The Diamonds National?
yeah, the Diamond Nationals. It was in like October
Okay.
of 22.
Okay. That's awesome. Gives you some more things to work towards, get back to that tournament, right? What would you say is your favorite thing about being involved in martial arts and competitions?
Being involved in martial arts, like it just brings me that like extra step to like complete everything.
That's awesome. And who is your favorite competitor to watch right now? It could be in sparring, it can be in forms. Who's your favorite guy that you're like, hey, I cannot miss his division. I want to see it or her.
My favorite competitor would probably have to be Gabe. I love watching his films. Just every one of his forms is just on point.
That's great. Yeah, he is a strong competitor and is definitely fun to watch. So are we going to see you at the Valor Showdown in August?
Yes, I will
Awesome. What
doing.
can we expect to see from you in August? We gonna be busting out that new trick, you think?
Yeah,
Heck yeah. Heck
probably
yeah.
I'll probably have it down like in 2 months if I can train it well and get better at it.
Nice, nice. Well, looking forward to seeing that. Um, so this has been an awesome interview, and it's been really cool of you to take some time out of your schedule. It's always a pleasure to watch you at tournaments. Um, I really appreciate you coming on and speaking with me. But before we end, I just want to know, is there anybody out there that you would like to thank for helping you get to this level where you're at today?
I would like to thank probably Josh Durbin. He taught me all the flips I know, everything I know. He had me practicing in my backyard, in my living room with a mattress on the floor, just learning everything that he's taught me, all my flips, all my katas, just everything.
He's awesome. I'm sure you're grateful that you got the time to train with Josh Durbin. We like to say that Josh is the Michael Jordan of sport karate. He's awesome. So it's super cool that you got that opportunity to train with him, and that's awesome. It's really important that we have those support systems, and I know you've got a strong one at home. I always see your parents at every single event. They're bringing you here, they're bringing you there, they're cheering you on in the stands. You always see dad running your music. They're always there at your side. So I just think that that's cool. I think that everybody should have that strong support system. So, but all right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Caige. It was such a pleasure to get a little bit of insight on you and get to know you a little bit more. For those of you who are out there watching, make sure you take the time to find out when Caige is going to be competing. Sit next to the ring. Make sure that you pull out those cameras and video it, because you do not want to miss that kid. He is just dynamic. He is on point. He's definitely a competitor to keep your eye on. He's got some big things coming up in his future. So looking forward to seeing you in August at the Valor Showdown, Caige. Again, thank you so much, and I hope all of you out there have a great day.